If you feel you have great things to show to the world, but you still don't have the courage to do it, or you still don't feel like you can do it, you need to watch this video and read the book. After I read the book Show Your Work by Austin Kleon, it gave me the courage to start my website and eventually start this YouTube channel. It's a beautiful book, it's really short, and it can really change the course of your life or career. So today I want to talk about the main ideas he talks about in the book. Let's dive in. Be an amateur. Whatever it is the thing you want to start with, you want to share with other people, you need to start by being just an amateur. Amateurs are people who are really obsessed with something and just spend a lot of their time thinking out loud about it. They are willing to try everything because they don't have anything to lose, as opposed to professionals. As you're doing all that, you need to commit to learning in the open, learning in front of other people. We're gonna be talking in a few chapters how you can do it exactly. Think process and not product. Today, we can share not only the finished product we have, we can also share the process of making that something. By sharing the workflows we have, the ways we create, we can be as helpful and maybe even more to people than just showing the finished thing you created. And by sharing a day-to-day process you have, you can also create a very special and more personal bond with your audience. This also can be a disadvantage because you have to be a lot more vulnerable. When you show your mistakes, your wins, your losses, you need to show everything if you really want to create a genuine connection with your audience. You need to be able to let your ego get some punches and take it with a smile. Oh, wow! Become a documentarian of what you do. The first step to start documenting your progress is to take the bits and scraps of what you did that day, the work you did that day, and trying to fuse it into an interesting bit of media. Try finding the best way for you to document things. It could be pictures, journaling, videos, audio recordings for yourself, and well, basically anything goes. The next step is to turn it up into a specific piece of content. It can be Twitter, Instagram posts, YouTube video, a blog post. It can be many things today. You just gotta be creative with how you want to put together this piece of content you have. Here's a few tips to what else you can show if you don't have a finished product yet. If you're in the very early stages, share what people influence you or what inspires you to do this thing. If you're in the middle of executing a project, you can share the workflows of how you do it and how you work every day to achieving that goal. If you just completed the project, then show the final outcome, show what you did, explain how you did it, explain what could you have done better and how you're going to do it next time. If you already have many projects out there, you can show how they are doing and what feedback they got. The most important part of this is never let sharing your work be precedent to actually doing the work. That has to be always the main thing you do. The so what test. You don't have to share anything. If there's something you're not ready for the world to see, you don't need to post it. Think of it like every post you're gonna upload, your boss or parents are going to see for sure. And then think to yourself, am I going to be okay with my mom or boss seeing this? But remember that the act of sharing something online, today it's gonna be online, is an act of generosity. It's really how I see it. You're putting something out there that you think is going to be helpful to other people. That should always be your focus, that you put out content that you think is going to be helpful to other people. If you're still not sure about a piece of content, if you want to post it, just ask for feedback from your friends, from a private community you have, or even parents. Turn your flow into a stock. Your flow is the daily uploads, the most smallest bits of information you post every day or every week. The stock is the content you create that is amazing today and it's going to be still amazing in 2 years. Now, stock can also be created by organizing and taking all the daily stuff you create, all the flow you have, and organizing it, expanding on it, and creating a stock from it. The best examples for something like this is taking 1,000 blog posts and just turning that into a book, turning it to something a lot bigger and a lot more valuable. Build a good name, a good domain name. A blog is an ideal way to turn your flow into a stock. Your blog can contain almost all of your life work. It can be a store, it can be your brand, and much more. Start by buying some web hosting and build a website. If you don't know how to do it, there's plenty of people who can do it for you for really cheap. Fiverr or Upwork, these are some websites you can find freelancers to do it for you. And then just start filling your website with your work, your ideas, and anything you care about. Don't worry about being very successful or making a bunch of money. For now, just focus on making good content. No guilty pleasures. We all have stuff we love that other people think are garbage, and that's fine. Don't let other people make you feel bad that you love something. If you stick to the stuff you really love, eventually other people who like the same things are gonna come too. Credit is always due. If you share the work of someone else, you should always credit to that creator. If you don't, you rob that person you didn't credit, and you rob your own audience who don't know where this information is really coming from. Online, the most important kind of credit is just having a hyperlink that links back to the creator. Work doesn't speak for itself. When you show someone a piece of content, especially a piece of content that is more artistic, what you tell them about this piece of content can greatly affect their assessment of it. And that means you need to become a much better storyteller. As you tell this story, speak with the language your audience is gonna understand best. Be mindful of their time and learn to talk to the point or right to the point, and keep it short and simple. Learn to take a punch. The more people that come across your work, the more criticism you're going to get on it. Here's a few tips to handle that criticism. Relax and breathe. Very imaginative people can really overthink themselves to the worst case. If someone on the internet called you a poopy head, it's not the end of the world. And the more people is going to see your content, the more people will love your content, and the more people will not like it. And that's just fine. It's not for everyone, and it shouldn't be. It should be only for your audience. Bad criticism is just not the end of the world. If you really see it as helpful, you can read it, and if not, you can just scroll on and ignore. Strengthen your neck. The best way to practice handling bad criticism is to get it a lot. Put a lot of work out and let people take their best shot. Roll with the punches. You can't control what kind of criticism you're going to get, but you can control how you react to it. Just keep your momentum forward and keep posting on and on, and keep improving on and on. Protect your vulnerable areas. If there's work that's really sensitive to you, then consider not posting it. But remember that if you really want to succeed in putting yourself out there, you have to be vulnerable to the world and the criticism you can get, unfortunately. If you spend your life avoiding vulnerability, you and your work will probably never genuinely connect with people. Keep your balance. Your work is something that you do. It doesn't have to define who you are. Pass around the hat. When you have an audience, you can turn them into patrons. The simplest way to do it is just to ask for donations on your website. And you can easily do this with services like Buy Me a Coffee. Asking money for your work is the leap you want to take only when you really feel your work is valuable enough. Emails are still some of the most valuable assets people have. You need to start collecting them as soon as you can. Put a sign-up widget on your website, ask people in the description of a video to subscribe to your newsletter, and write a little bit of copy of what they can expect from this kind of newsletter. The people who sign up can be the biggest supporters you have, just by the fact that they sign up to potentially get spammed by you. Don't betray their trust, build a list and treat it with respect. This list can become very handy in the future. Don't quit your show. You need to be persistent and very patient. I'm saying this basically also to myself. I just started this YouTube channel and it's going to take some time. And I really believe that the people who succeed are the people who stick around long enough. Remember, a failed project doesn't promise another failed project, just as a successful one doesn't promise another successful project. Just keep your momentum, keep making the content you make, keep moving forward. This book was so amazing for me to read. It's really short, it just takes a few hours to finish, and I guess for now it really did change the trajectory of my life. I decided to give a lot of my time to making this YouTube channel, to working on my website, and basically just sharing things I think can be helpful to other people. I had a million excuses to why not doing it, why not showing my face on camera, how I'm going to film is very expensive. It really just gave me the courage to just do it. And also I have to give credit to Ali Abdaal, really gave me the inspiration and the courage to do it too. So thank you. I think this book has mainly the very first practical steps you can take to start sharing your work online. And I think the main concept is just remember that what you put out there is to help other people first. You can also make money for it, that's just fine, but the first goal you need to have is I want to be helpful to other people. That's just how I feel. And believe me, even the most mundane things you think you do that are not important, they're not interesting to other people, only I love these kind of things. There's probably thousands and millions of people who just like and love all the things you potentially can post online. So if you feel you have this kind of thing you want to share with the world, you think can be valuable, just do it. It doesn't really matter how. It can be a website, a blog, a YouTube channel, any way you want to share the things you love, just do it. It really is an act of generosity. If you watched this video so far, then thank you very much. Consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.